Welcome back to another Out of the Park 22 video. This is a new series, or a first video in a new series, I guess I should say. So in this one, I simulated forward in MLB history. So those of you who watched the last few videos I had done, I had simmed forward from 1984 to 2021. This is a new sim, not a continuation of that one, but a brand new sim where I picked up with the game as is in 2021 and simmed through the year 2069. I thought that would be a nice idea for a video. So hopefully you think it's a nice idea for a video. So I'm going to go through some things that I found interesting and some kind of higher level things about the sim. And then, of course, as always, leave comments if you have any questions, and I'll do another video answering your questions. Also, if you want to check out in the description a link to my Patreon page, do that too. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go to the league history index. And actually, you know what? Let's go to evolution first. I think that's more important. So things that changed. And now I didn't touch a thing in this sim. I just started the game. I didn't take a job. I put myself in Do Not Disturb. And then I just simulated. And I've actually not looked that deeply at the sim because I kind of wanted to have some surprise as I go through it rather than just... I guess the other option is finding the good stuff and figuring out what I want to talk to you about. I'd rather just kind of be more surprised as I go through it. So the Marlins relocated to Austin in 2022, and the league expanded to Charlotte and Portland. The Portland Grand Slam. What a terrible name for an MLB team to be named the Grand Slam. I don't like that. Okay, and then the NL finally got on board with the designated hitter in 2026. In 2031... the Royals changed their name to the Silver Wolves. And then, man, looks like they had a new CBA in January 2035. The players got screwed again. 7 years minimum service time to get to free agency. Ooh, and then Cincinnati relocated to Columbus. So maybe Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio are now bigger rivals. 2040, the league expanded again. El Paso Hornets and the Fresno Prairie Thunder. Is it Prairie Thunder, or do they play in Fresno Prairie? And then 2049, active roster size increased to 27. 2050, the mound height was lowered. 2054, the AL removed the designated hitter. Whoa. And then 2056, the players, again, getting the short end of the stick. Free agency minimum service time increased to 8 years. 2056, Virginia Beach Lancers and the Indianapolis Snappers. Man, I can't believe the Braves and the Nats let a Virginia Beach team come in. And then in 2059, the Rockies relocated to Nashville. Nashville finally gets Major League Baseball in the year 2059. 2060, we lowered the mound again. More offense expected. Maybe if they wanted more offense, they should have gotten rid of the designated hitter. 2068, the league expanded again. New Orleans Foresters and the Albuquerque Quakes. All right. So now let's go to the league history and just kind of scroll through real quick to see who won championships here. I'm not going to dive into any of these teams right now, but of course, if you want me to, just leave that in the comments. So 2021, where we picked up in this sim, the Brewers won the World Series. Congrats, Milwaukee. They beat the Yankees. 2022, that's interesting. Real life 2021 World Series with the Braves over the Astros. The Dodgers made 3 in a row and won 2 of them here. If we go down a little further, the Charlotte Barracudas, the expansion team, won 2 out of 3 World Series there. The Portland Grand Slam then won a World Series. The O's, nice. The Grand Slam made the World Series again in 2038, then won it again in 2041. The Kansas City, formerly known as Royals, won 2 out of 3 here. The Rangers made 2 World Series in a row, and then 3 out of 4, but only won 1 of them. San Diego, San Francisco, St. Louis, Chicago, 4 straight NL World Series wins here. Oh, a lot of Twins here. Twins made it in 2052 and lost in 55, won in 56, won in 58. The Silverbacks made it 3 of 4 years and they won once. Virginia Beach, Austin, Portland. Man, the expansion teams. Fresno. Here we got Fresno Prairie Thunder against the Virginia Beach Lancers. When did those teams come in? Virginia Beach came in 2056 and Fresno Prairie in 2040. and this was 2063. Okay. So they weren't like brand new teams or anything anymore. But man, a lot of expansion teams. Look at the difference in the league-wide ERA, and I guess batting average too, because the AL got rid of the DH. And in the year they did that, it went from 4.34 ERA to 4.06. And here the NL is still at like 4.4, 4.5, and the AL is right around 4. So maybe they should put the DH back to get more offense. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. Had I mentioned that? Maybe I'd mentioned that. Just kidding. I know I had. Anyways, so let's go to the awards. Let's do NL first. And I just kind of want to see if anybody won just an absurd number of awards. Like if somebody, I think John Smoltz won like 8 straight Cy Youngs in that one 1984 Forward Sim I did. So let's see. Here we've got, I'm going to just scroll the MVP first so we can go into more detail if we need to. Acuna won his 4th. Tatis won his 3rd. Franco with his 6th MVP award here. A couple of them were NL. So he won 2 NL once he went and signed with Colorado. That's a smart decision at that point in your career. You're right around age 31. You're on the wrong side of the aging curve. Let's go hit in Colorado for several years. So Wander ended up with 408 home runs, put up 103.6 WAR, and he did make the Hall of Fame with 99.7% of the vote in his first season of eligibility. So Wander with 6. Let's see. Tatis ended up winning these 3. Ooh, he fell off quickly there. He was like 133 WRC plus guy and was an all-star level player, and then all of a sudden was like not even playable. Did he have an injury in like 2032? Not a major injury. Yeah, no, that aging curve fell off. He fell off a cliff. Acuna played until age 40, but really was awesome through age 36 and serviceable through age 38. And he was actually serviceable at age 39. He ended up with 660 home runs, but only led the league in home runs once. Wow. Led the league in WRC plus a bunch, hits once, RBI a whole bunch, runs a whole bunch. So that's Acuna. Let's see, anybody else here under the... Oh, here's 4 from this guy. Actually he won 5. Rogelio Ramirez, who's now retired and in the Hall of Fame. So he played his whole career at the Cubs, and he was out of the game by the time he was 33. Man, he fell off a cliff too. Did he have an injury around 2050? No, not really. So it was just aging curve got him. But yeah, he put up 78.2 WAR, but I mean, he only played till age 33, basically till age 32. Put up 221 home runs. So it looks like he was more of like a hits guy. Yeah. Average and on base. Oh, look at these batting averages on bases. Yeah. Career 342 hitter with a 400 on base. 2465 hits. He led the league in hits 5 different times. Pretty good. Here's Andy Ryman. He won a whole bunch of MVPs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 MVPs. He was a first-round pick, 14th overall in 2047 of the Nats. Oops, didn't mean to go out of him. 443 home runs. He was another guy who just had a bunch of hits. Look at this. 3,008 hits. And he didn't enter the league until age 24 and was out by age 38. So not a huge power guy here. Like just great hitter. I mean, 341 career hitter. Andy Ryman, everybody. Let's see. Anybody else? No. Okay, let's look at the Cy Young real quick. Mackenzie Gore won. It looks like 4 Cys. No one else won a crazy amount. Nate Buchanan is some dude who won 3. Nuno Cotter, of course, with 4. I don't really care about the reliever of the year, but rookie of the year, see if anybody had like a Jason Giambi-ish 12 WAR season like happened in my last sim. He won the 1995 rookie of the year with 12 WAR. Doesn't look like we had anything like that. Okay, so let's check out the AL winners. So, oh, Kirilloff won an MVP. Nice. Then we've got the Wander run here. Vlad won one. Julio Rodriguez, nice. Bernie Benitez won 2. David Moran won 4. That's pretty good. Marty Perez with 5 MVP awards. Boston, 506 career home runs, 3205 in terms of hits, a 314 career hitter. He was a first overall pick in 2037 and a top prospect who lived up to the billing. Yeah, there's his 6th award. Doesn't look like anybody else racked up an insane number. You have got a few guys with 3. How about scrolling up the Cy Young here? Let's go to this. Don't see anybody who racked up a ton. Pablo Lopez, Taj Bradley, Lucas Giolito won 2, Bieber won 3, including with the Yankees. Oh, Adam Savale. Is it Savali? I think it's Savale, right? He won a Cy Young. That's interesting. Cleveland had a couple Cy Young winners in a row there. And then Rookie of the Year, just keep an eye on this WAR. Rodolfo Berdin had 6.8 WAR in 2037 as the MVP. 8.2 WAR from Jose De Leon. But no one with like a 12 WAR season. So those are the awards. Let's look next at the players. Let's look at retired and active. Oh, we'll look at pitchers first. I've got a filter on here, so bear with me. So this is career pitchers. I think it's like more than 500 innings pitched is the minimum I have on. Yeah, 500. Just to look at guys who came up and did something in this sim. K is probably the place you're going to find it. So Roger Gonzalez is a 42-year-old guy for the Cubs who looks like he's won a couple Cy Youngs, 54 and 59. He signed a minor league contract with the Nats. Wow. Minor league contract. He went on to win a couple Cy Youngs, went on to go be one of the top strikeout pitchers of all time. Look at these strikeout totals by year and Ks per 9. So he's about to cross 4,500 Ks. I don't know if he's going to play much longer. What's his contract look like? Oh, he's a free agent now. So how did he do this year? He still threw 142 innings. His Ks have definitely dropped off in his late 30s, but he's still pitching. But we'll see if he gets another job. That's a new guy. But this guy came up earlier because he won, what? Wow, did he win 4 Cy Youngs? Yeah, okay, that's what we covered earlier. So, Nuno Cotter. So, look at all these K years where he led the league in Ks. 308 Ks, 3,815. He's got a 3.3 WAR, very nice 69.5 R WAR, very on brand for this video. Thank you, Nuno, for recognizing the year that we're in with your R WAR. And he's in the Hall of Fame. He made it in with... Oh, he's not in the Hall of Fame? Never mind. He's not in yet. Oh, he just retired last year. Sorry. Let's see. K9, do we have a new leader there? Yeah, Eric Jones, who is a guy who looks like he had like the highest peak you could possibly have with 8 WAR, 329 Ks. I mean, look at these 3 seasons right here. But then the dude just flamed out. Did he have an arm injury around like 2061? Partially torn labrum. Maybe that's what it was. And then he had a bunch of elbow injuries. He tore his labrum again. Yeah, he just got wrecked by the end of his career. But a very high peak there. I doubt anybody... Let's see. Who's this guy? That's not a... Oh, no. Okay. That is a older guy. Yeah. Okay. So no one else with ERA. How about ERA plus? Oh, Mariano Rivera, Papelbon, Jaden Long. He's a guy pitching right now. Has he ever started? Nah, he's a reliever. All right, so let's check out our hitters. And we're going to go to that. And we're going to go to hitting career. And let's start with hits. So we got this guy, Italo. That's a great name. Italo Barbino. Is that how you say that? So he ended up third all-time in hits. So what age did he retire at? He retired at age 38, a year after in which he put up 207 hits. And he was, I mean, look at him. He was still rocking in his late 30s. Why'd this man retire? I mean, he was 2 seasons. I mean, he was what? 245 hits away from catching Pete Rose, and he put up 207. I mean, that's a season and like 2 months. That's disappointing that he retired. Look at this, 371, 372. Look at all these averages. Why was he not leading the league in average in these years? Oh, that must have been a split year because he was traded. A 355 career hitter. Is that the leader here? Oh, no, Ty Cobb. A few guys are ahead of him. Ross Barnes, Hornsby, Shoeless Joe, Pat Blair, who's a guy currently playing, a Rule 5 pick, who I had the minimum on 500 plate appearances. So he's just put up some really good averages here as a very part-time player. That's interesting. Maybe you should play him more, Pittsburgh. So, all right. Anybody else? Any other guys up here in hits? No one. Chris Sebesta is a Yankees player who they signed as a free agent. Shocking. Look at these All-Star games. Made about 17 dozen All-Star games, 3 MVPs. He was, a 6th round pick, 190th overall in 2046. And look at all the red ink here. I mean, batting average, he led on base for 7 million seasons in a row there. Led the league in hits a bunch. Never led the league in home runs, but ended up with 546 career home runs, 3,545 hits. And I guess I should say he's still playing. And did okay last year. Not a terrible year. So he went to the Yankees at age 34, and he put up a 9-WAR season for them. Man, that guy. Let's see. Vlad Jr. is here. Who's Cap Anson? That's an older guy, right? Yeah. Jesus Orozco. Richard Calabero. Molitor, Pujols. Okay, cool. Anybody come up in doubles? Freddie Freeman, 3rd all-time in doubles. And Jerry Bautista, he's a guy who entered this sim. There's Barbino again. What a beast. Ozzy Albies, Jose Ramirez, Vlad Jr., a bunch of current MLBers here. Home runs, Bonds is still king. We've got Acuna here with 660. Active player Melvin Rojas with 649. He's 38. He's won 1 MVP. And he's only led the league in home runs once with 51 in 2064 playing in Colorado. But he came up young. He hit 42 at the age of 20, and now he's 38 and still playing, and he's still signed. So he could see. I mean, say he hits 20 a year, maybe that's fair. 689, so maybe he might crack the top 5. He might be able to pass Pujols if he plays out his contract. Who's Ray Gaines? Yeah, that's a guy in this sim. Never led the league in home runs, but with 648 home runs. Spent his entire career with the Minnesota Twins after being drafted 33rd overall in 2039. So that's fun. What other categories would be fun? I mean, there's always like OPS plus, WRC plus. Babe Ruth's still king there. Barry Bonds. There's Sebesta again. Ooh, Ron McCumber. Who's this guy? Currently a 33-year-old 4-time MVP for the Rangers. He's got 344 home runs. He's led the league twice in home runs. Came up with the Orioles and then left for Texas. He was a 95th overall pick for the Rangers. Let's see. Cool. All right, how about RBI? Elias Sanchez, we haven't talked about him, have we? So he just got, he came out at 33 and played through age 43. And he crossed over 100 RBIs a bunch. But he had some seasons here where he could have racked up more, like 74, 85. I guess he's in his late 30s, early 40s at that point. So maybe not realistic. But there's Calabero again. Juan Soto. Soto ended his career with 103 WAR. And he bounced around. So he went to Chicago and then Milwaukee, and then back to Washington, then back to Milwaukee. He ended with 605 home runs and an on-base of 415. There's Acuna, Vlad. We'll take a look at him. So Vlad led the league in various categories a few times. 512 home runs, 3,410 hits. He made the Hall of Fame on his first chance of eligibility, 97.7%. Looks like he won one MVP award in 2027. Let's see, runs. There's Sebesta and Calbero again, these studs. And on base, who's John McGraw? Player from the late 1800s. Dante Valdez, on-base machine here with just 38 home runs. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, look at this guy. This guy's a dream. No, he's just interesting. I wonder if his infield range was ever better because he's 33 now. First overall pick in 2058 from the Rays, and they've still got him. Oh, wow, look at this guy. But, I mean, he's putting up just insane WAR. His OPS plus is crazy. No hits at all, but his on base, I mean, career on base of 441. Dante the Dominator Valdez. That's awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's check the records real quick, just to make sure I didn't miss like a single season record. Let's see. Nothing there. Oh, so RBI in 2063, Manny Familia, who's now playing for the Nashville Hops. So he had 198 RBI this season, scored 130 runs and had 228 hits, 7.5 WAR. His 162 game average was 130 RBI. So that was his career year, but he's a pretty good player. Way to go, Manny. But certainly like a 90th percentile outcome for him that one year with the RBI. 2048 Wardner. This guy struck out 344 times. And not that rare to see a guy, as the sim goes on, set strikeout record. Spencer Torkelson is the all-time strikeout leader. Anybody else? I think all these are still the real-life ones, I think. Let me know if I missed one. Career pitching. Who's this guy? Eric Jones. He leads in hits allowed per 9, strikeouts per 9, opponent's average. And that's all. He's got to be a reliever, right? No, he's a starter. Is he retired? Man, so he... Wow. Okay, so he pitched around the minors some at the end, but let's go ahead and look at just his major league. So he really fell off here at the end and went to the bullpen, but this 3-year peak here is crazy. So he didn't pitch long enough to bring those rate stats down, so he's got the record in a bunch of them. If he'd pitched into his late 30s, he probably wouldn't still be the record holder because he would have dragged himself down. Anything here? Oh, Julio Urias' 941 winning percentage in 2022. 2060. Oh, there's a guy, Eric Jones. Hits allowed, strikeouts per 9, and opponent average. Way to go. So, yeah, so I'll stop it there. Oh, actually, you know what? I know people normally like to see the Hall of Fame voting. So let's look at that for the guys like that we know. Let's go back. So A-Rod made it in. Ortiz made it in. 2 straight years of nobody making it in. And then Pujols, Cabrera, Verlander, Scherzer, Kershaw. Trout made it in with 98.4% of the vote. He played through age 37. Looks like he kind of played well, but had some injuries and wasn't like a world beater, but was still a really good player late in his career. Let's see. Who else? I mean, there's Kershaw, Arenado, Manny. How'd Manny's career end up? Finished his career in San Diego. 554 home runs. Oh, 5 hits shy of 3,000. No MVP awards, but Manny will always be Manny to me. And Lindor made it in. Bellinger, Freeman, Jose Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Albies, Franco, Acuna, Soto, Joe Mitchell, Vlad Jr., and then you get into a bunch of guys who are not real guys, are not current major league players. So, okay, now I'll end it there, and you guys can leave some questions in the comments, and I'll do a video where I answer those questions, because I'm sure there's things that as I was scrolling I overlooked, or teams you want me to take a better look at, or players that I didn't show you. So yeah, fire away with the questions, and I'll be back with a video looking at that. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.